Hello everybody, today I'm bringing you a layout with this photo of my grandson coloring, and I found this great background acetate or transparency from Amy Tangerine. It's from the Rise and Shine collection and it's called Sophia. And I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to use it. I've put it over a piece of Basil white cardstock in Avalanche. And I think what I'm going to do now that I'm looking at this, at first I was thinking about using like a third the black and 2/3 the transparency, but I love the transparency and it looks like hand-drawn or colored colored, I don't know what, doodles, that's the word I want. Looks like doodles on the background. I had been making a couple of layouts with the Amy Tangerine collection, and I remembered I had that picture of my grandson coloring and thought this is the perfect piece to to use with it. So what I've done now is I've taken that black and white crosshatch grid paper from the Amy Tangerine Stitched collection, and that is called Felted. And then I found these 4x4 cut-aparts here. The one I'm going to use is the one that says Work Hard there. I don't know what collection that's from though. I just have a bunch of cut-aparts that I haven't used or that I cut apart and I no longer have the names of anything. It might be stitched, it might be something else, so I'm not quite sure. So I'm going through and I'm looking up other pieces. I know I want to use something on the top right there to help balance the photograph. So I'm cutting a piece out from those phrases. I'm going to end up using the one that says, I'm thinking about using it at the top. That is not where I'm going to end up using it though. This one says hello, and that cut apart is also from the Stitched collection, and the paper that it came from is called Jump Stitch. Now it has a heart on it, and that's one of the reasons I used it, just because it had the heart, but in the end I'm going to end up covering it up. So, and what I'm planning on doing now, because I was thinking about using it for my journaling, I was going to put it at the top. Now I'm going to put it at right there where it's sitting now. So that will give me a little chance. This was a pretty quick layout for me. It only took 23 minutes. And just in case you've never kind of keyed into this, I always put the actual time that it's taken me to do the layout right in the title page, right at the beginning of the video. So I always put what I've named it and then what it is at the beginning of the video. So that transparency label was still on there, so I just wanted to cut that off. And with transparencies, the best thing to do is to glue them on to whatever background paper you're going to use, if you're not going to just let it be a transparency under things that you are gluing on top of it. I love how this really looks like some sort of colored doodles or something. It really was the perfect thing. I'd been scrapbooking the weekend before I'm narrating this, and I was going through some of my older file folders and collections because I knew that I had some of the new collections from Amy Tangerine, Shamel, Dear Lizzie, and a little bit of Maggie Holmes coming in. And so I was trying to use up some of those older pieces, and it's about time that I do that, especially with a really cute piece like this transparency. It's just I've never found a layout to use this with. All right, and now I'm just playing a little bit with exactly how I want this to fit on the layout here. I'm playing a lot. Now I'm going to make this all fit on the layout here. And in just a second, I'm going to stop playing with that. And then again, I'll just use my ATG underneath that to get the transparency glued down. And that's doing a nice job of anchoring. I'm going to put something up at the top right there, and that I'll be able to anchor underneath that as well too. And when these go into the page protectors, they really don't, they don't come apart or anything like that. I am getting a little bit of reflection from my light in the transparency there, so sorry about that, but that sometimes happens. Or one of my lights. So I'm thinking about what else I could do here or use. And then I see that label paper next to me. That is from Rise and Shine, and the paper is called Riley. So I'm going to cut apart a black label there. And I'll just cut it pretty close. It's again kind of hand-drawn looking, which is really appropriate for this layout about coloring. And ooh, my grandson loves to color. And Grandma loves that he loves to color. I haven't done a ton of coloring with him yet, but you know, like where I get to color too. I did think about putting it in the top left there, but decided that really it belongs on the top right there. And now I'm going to just go through a couple of my Amy Tangerine die cut packs, except before I did that, I saw these freckled fawn wood buttons, and they're from the Oh Dear Me collection. They're called button stickers. And I had a couple of buttons with colors that I thought were appropriate. So I have that leaf button there that I'm just going to put up there, and it has orange and turquoise and red, and it again looks a little bit hand-drawn. And then I also have that little gold button with stars on it, and that I'm just going to put on the work hard. So that'll give this layout some dimension as well. And I'm going to keep doing my die cut packs. I keep them in Crupper Hopper photo sleeves there. And as I went through that, and that's just a bunch of my miscellaneous die cuts, so I don't know exactly where this speech bubble die cut came from, which collection it was. It's old though. But I loved how that brought out the pink in the layout too. It's a bright color, which is really nice because a lot of this is very watercolory, just kind of draws your eye to the photo cluster there. And I was just cutting off the edge of that hello card there, and now you see where as I put this on here I end up cutting up that other heart, but that's okay because the heart is there. So I thought about putting that button on that heart speech bubble there, but I actually liked it back again on the work hard card. Now when you see this, as I'm making this, I'm going to add something with more dimension to it afterwards, and I'll tell you this while I'm looking for my title here, or some thickers for my title. I ended up adding some freckled fawn wood veneer crayons. I added 2 of them. One will go right next to the wood button on work hard, and then the other one's going to go at the top right under the label sticker there. And I had forgotten about this. I got these crayons from Freckled Fawn, and I knew that they would be perfect. These wood veneer crayons from Freckled Fawn, I knew they would be perfect for this layout because I knew I had a picture of him coloring that I hadn't done yet. But when I did this, I forgot about them until I was going through my wood veneers for another layout that I used right after this one, and I went, I have to use those crayons. So I went back and I found 2 of them and put them on, and I actually I had 3 of them because I put one to the side of the photo as well too. So I thought that they're perfect for this, and I really wanted to get them on. And they also add another nice dimension. They're just a wood veneer with kind of a black print on them. So look for that in the still and detail shots at the end. So I found the thickers that I am going to use. These don't have a name. They're very old. They're some of the first thickers I ever bought. They're a very fun, whimsical, kind of kid-like title. So I didn't, I wanted to use them because of that fun kid-like title, and he is drawing. So one of the things I'm doing here is my hello card and the top of the photo mat are not the same height. So I don't like it because the title kind of drops, and I didn't want the art to be sort of floating in the top. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to bring the word hello down a little bit so that it will be in the same line as the word art. If you see there, I don't have an E, so I'm using a G, and I'm going to cut that apart and MacGyver it into an E, which is actually a really simple thing to do because I just kind of cut the tail piece off of that. Sorry, you can't see that, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the tail piece off of this, and then I will add that in. And I'm just arranging them a little bit differently. And I love how the font is really big and really black and dark so that it draws your eye into the layout. And I'm going to journal on this in a second. I didn't journal anything on that label up there, but I think what I'm going to do is add his name and his age, just because it looks a little bit empty. Even with the extra piece up there, I'm looking at that now as I'm, doing the voiceover, thinking I really could add something up there. It looks a little plain. So I will get that done a little bit later on. I'm still fooling around a little bit here with that E, the G that became the E. I love being able to do that with my letters because you just get more mileage out of those thicker alphabets. And then I moved it over a little bit again too, just to separate the word hello and art because they were a little bit too close. So I'm just going to now get the edges of that photo down a little bit more. I can be a little bit crazy about getting those down. All right. So now I'm going to grab my Pitt pen in 0.05 and I will do my journaling. So that is basically the end of this layout. It was a quick and simple one. Like I said, don't forget to look for the wood veneer crayons at the end of the layout in the still shot and the detail shots. Hope you are all well, and I will be back with another video again soon. Oh, by the way, this was, oh, actually, never mind. I was going to tell you it was for the Crafty Maven online crap, but it wasn't. So anyway, hope you're all well. Talk to you again soon. Bye.